Let us start with the last point of a first unit, which is agency and creation of a agency. A contract of agency is the legal relationship where one person appoints another person to perform on the transaction on his behalf. The person who is appointed to take care of such a transaction is known as the principal, whereas the person who look after the transaction of the principal is a agent. The contract of a agency is a special contract under the Indian Contract Act 1872. In simple words, an agent is a person who is employed to bring his principal into a contractual relationships with the third party. So here we are talking about the relationship between the agent and a principal. Principal, if he is a busy person, he do not have enough time, but still he wishes to continue with his businesses, then he may appoint a agent. Agent is working on behalf of the principal with the third party. An agent is a mere connecting link between the principal and a third party. But during the period that an agent is acting for his principal, he is clothed with the capacity of a principal. So whenever we talk about the relationship between the agent and a principal is nothing but agent himself having a similar power that the principal have, and he may enter in any kind of a contract as similar as a principal. So let us see the essential requirement of a agency. The person who wishes to appoint an agent, that he must be competent to a contract. So principal should not be a minor. Principal must not be, or he must be mentally fit, or in technical language we can say that he must be of a sound mind, and he must not be disqualified by the law from entering in any kind of a contract. So principal must be competent. Now here the competency of an agent is not a mandatory. Any person can become an agent between the principal and the third party. Generally, an agent does not have any personal liabilities toward the principal while contracting. Therefore, the agent doesn't need to be competent to the contract. Now here, one more interesting thing about the agent and a principal relationship is that no consideration is required for the relationship between the agent and a principal. So let us discuss the creation of a agency. So first type by which the agency is created by the express contract. So if we see a type of a contract in which one type is the express contract, the contract which are made by the word of a mouth or written on a paper is known as the express contract. Similarly, in a creation of a agency, express agency, a contract of agency may be made by orally or in writing. The usual form for written contract of an agency is the power of attorney, which gives him the authority to act on behalf of the principal. So any competent principal person can appoint an agent as his representative through a contract. The appointment contract can be in oral or also in written form. So let us move toward the implied agency. Implied agency may arise by conduct, situation of parties, or necessity of the case. So in a contrast with the express agency, implied agency created automatically, maybe by conduct, maybe by situation of a party, or maybe necessity of a case. So in a implied agency there are few types. So let us discuss these few types one by one. The first one is the agency by estoppel. Estoppel arises when you are precalled from denying the truth of anything which you have represented as a fact, although it is not a fact. So the estoppel is, again we are going to see the definition for the estoppel, and the section for the agency by estoppel is section 237 of Indian Contract Act. Estoppel arises when somebody representing some facts in front of you, but you are not denying that fact, although it is actually not a fact. Now let us see this one with the example. The P allows third parties to believe that A is acting as his authorized agent. He will be stopped from denying the agency if such third parties relying on it make a contract with an E1 when A had no authority at all. So whenever we talk about the agency by estoppel, a person who is not having any kind of authority, without his authority he is representing someone and creating some pictures that he is an agent of that other party while dealing with the third party in a presence of the other party, and the other party is also not denying that fact. So the agency which is created by this way, it is called as the agency by estoppel. Now again, in agency of a implied agency, in implied agency the second type is a wife as an agent. So where a husband and a wife are living together, the wife is presumed to have her husband's authority to pledge his credit for the purchase of necessaries of life suitable to their standard of living. So in simple words, where a husband and a wife living together, we assume that the wife has her husband authority to pledge his credit for the purchase of necessaries of a life suitable to their standard of living, but the husband will not be liable if he shows that he had expressly warned the tradesman not to supply goods on credit to his wife, or he had expressly forbidden the wife to use his credit, or he already sufficiently supplies his wife with the articles in questions, or he supplies his wife with sufficient allowances. So the husband has created all these scenarios. In that case, wife should not be treated as a agent, but whenever the husband and wives are living together, the wife is in a capacity to work as an agent for the husband and having a full authority to use his credit, and husband has to pay afterwards. So let us move to further. In implied agency, next type is the agency of a necessity. This agency of a necessity is given in a section 188 and 189. In certain circumstances, a person who has been entrusted with the another's property may have to incur unauthorized expenses to protect or preserve it. It is called as the agency of a necessity. So in the simple words, in certain circumstances, a person who has been entrusted with another property may have to incur the unauthorized expenses to protect or preserve it. So whenever such act is necessary for the protection of a property or some articles or some materials, if he performs for the protection of such things, then the agency which is created is known as the agency of a necessity. And the last type is agency by ratification. These ratification sections are provided from section 169 to 200, where a person having no authority to purport to act as agent or a duly appointed agent exceed his authority, the principal is not bound by a contract supposedly based on his belief. So whenever we talk about the agency by ratification, it is the ex post facto agency arising after the event. It means what? The agent is already performed without any kind of authority, but by the ratification the contract is binding on a principal as if the agent had been authorized before. So these are the types of a creation of a agency. First one is by express agency, and in second is the implied agency. Now quickly see the right and duties of a principal and agent. So first, the right of a agent. The first right is the right of retain. Second right is the right to remuneration. Third one is the right to lien. Fourth is the right to indemnity. Fifth, right to compensation. And the duties of an agent under the Indian Contract Act: duty to avoid conflict of interest, duty to maintain accounts, duty of reasonable care and skill, duty not to delegate his duties, duties to follow the instruction or customs, duty to remit all sums. So these are the duties of a agent. Now let us quickly see the rights and duty of a principal toward the agent. Now first discuss the right of a principal. He can enforce the various duties of an agent. He can recover compensation for any breach of a duty by agent. He can forfeit agent's remuneration where the agent is guilty of misconduct in the business of agency. Principal is entitled to any extra profit that the agent has made out of his agency. This includes any illegal gratification, if any. Principal is also entitled to receive all sums that the transaction entered into by agent on behalf of the principal were void or illegal. So let us quickly see the duties of a principal. Principal's first and most important duty is to pay the remuneration to his agent. The second duty to indemnify. Third duty is compensation for injuries, if any, and he should not prevent the agent from earning the remuneration. Thank you very much.